Hi, my name's Tristan. I am from Kansas City. I have born and raised in Kansas City. Never lived anywhere else, never want to live anywhere else. It's a great place to live. Kind people, awesome job. I'm a registered nurse. I work in a local ER. I am married to the love of my life, Trent, and we have two beautiful children, an 8-month-old boy, Caleb, and a 2.5-year-old little girl named Copeland. They are the light of our lives. They make life worth living. They're incredible. I am from a family of four. Sibling of four siblings, and the mom and dad. And this is kind of where my story starts. I'm the oldest of four. I have a brother named Dalton, a sister Emma, and then the youngest is Anna. And on July 26, 2019, Dalton, my 18-year-old little brother, was killed in a motorcycle accident in Sedalia, Missouri. He was hit by an SUV and it killed him. And this is when my story starts. This is when the old Tristan that I was prior changed. This person I was before died with my brother. I'm a completely different human, and I'm passionate about sharing my story. Gray found me. I'm passionate about navigating gray and finding color in your life, but getting through that gray is just so hard, and it smacked me right in the face. I wasn't prepared. Is anyone prepared for a traumatic death? No, but I never thought I would be the big sister of a dead brother, and that kind of labels you. You know, I feel her brother died, her brother's dead. You know. If I have a fun memory about him, if I want to talk about him, he's my dead brother. And that's very hard to navigate. Before Dalton's death, I was naive and I was insensitive. I had a suck it up attitude, get over it, life moves on, happy-go-lucky. And death just hit me in the face. You know, I'm a registered nurse who works in an ER. Death isn't a stranger to me. I unfortunately see death almost daily in my career, but I never thought that it would happen to my 18-year-old brother. It's a battle. It's a battle that I work on every day. Prior to Dalton's death, I had some traumatic loss in my life. My uncle was killed in a helicopter crash, which catapulted me into becoming a nurse. I thought, I gotta live on that legacy that he left. I want to be an ER nurse. Eventually, I want to be a flight nurse. And so his death just really catapulted me into where I'm at today. But I didn't know that where I'm at today was going to be navigating another traumatic loss. A traumatic loss that took my breath away. It took the wind out of my sails and changed who I am to a fault. So all of these losses, I have to tell you, although traumatic for me and life-changing for me, did not hold a candle to losing the little boy who made me a big sister for the first time, losing one of my best friends, a life partner, someone I was supposed to watch grow old, and someone that I, wanted to meet my niece and nephew eventually. I won't get those anymore. So in that death, in Dalton's death, I'm standing in this crater of grief and this crater of mourning, and loss and traumatic death and triggers for me because I am a trauma nurse, and there was no color in my life. I was miserable. I was grieving and I was mourning and I was lost. Hearing the words, "Your brother is dead," at 18 years old is traumatic and all-consuming. So it took me a little bit. I was angry. But I'm here. I'm still here. I'm still living. So where do I go from here? Like how do you overcome such grief and such mourning, like losing your 18-year-old brother to a traumatic death when he was such an incredible human? Like, what's next for me? How do I conquer? How do I find my color? How do I navigate the gray that I wasn't prepared to navigate? Death showed up at my door and, took a life that meant more to me than I think I can even comprehend. I'm mourning a brother, but I took a motherly role to him so often, as big sisters do, and so it's hard. And every day it's a battle. I fight every single day to maintain my mindfulness and be intentional, and make sure that my body is balanced, and my whole self. I'm like wholeheartedly healing, not only for myself, but for my husband and my family and my kids, because they're also mourning, Dalton's death. And I didn't want to stay in that crater. I didn't want to be miserable, because I have a whole life ahead of me that I can make beautiful. I can find the color. I can navigate the gray. And then out of nowhere, this passion for me telling my story arose. And I don't really know if it's just for my own self-healing or if it's so I can touch other people, but I'm going to be vulnerable. I'm going to step out and I'm going to share my story. And if it touches one single person, if it resonates with one human, then I did it for good. I'm not used to sharing my emotions. I'm not good at sharing my emotions. I'm not good at being vulnerable. I'm not good at being brave. I like my comfy, cozy spot, but I'm stepping out because I need to for myself, and I need to for everyone else that's struggling with this same grief. Grief in our society is danced around. It's uncomfortable, and it shouldn't be, because it's real and it's hard, but it can be overcome. It can be conquered, and it can be conquered beautifully. I will live with this feeling and this death until I die, but I'm choosing to find color. I'm choosing life. I'm choosing to conquer this death and see positives, because I don't want to be miserable for the rest of my life. My husband doesn't deserve miserable. I don't deserve miserable. And so, I'm just gonna see where this takes me. And if I get 2 views, it's okay, because this is for me too. And it's for my family and my husband and my kids. So, death ran away with my whole heart. That's just about how I'm going to explain it, because it did. It took my heart and it ran away. I was done. If you can imagine this moment, I found out my brother was dead. We were on a boat. And when we stepped off that boat onto solid ground, it wasn't solid. My ground was not solid. I didn't even feel like I was standing on anything. And I could barely hold up my own weight. And I just collapsed, and I was just laying on this concrete, unable to breathe. And I don't know if you've ever felt an emotional pain so bad that you wish you were in physical pain. But I can tell you, hearing the words that Dalton is dead was crippling, life-altering. And I quite literally could not breathe. And so have you ever felt this way? Have you ever felt an emotional pain so great that you wish with anything that you could just feel some physical pain, just feel anything? If so, and that this is triggering for you, and listening to this, reading this brings up emotions that you have hid, emotions that you've concealed because you don't want to feel them. If you've concealed those pockets of gray, that's okay. Because I am number one at concealing my emotions. But I want to tell you that today, right now, I'm breathing. Some days it feels like I can't breathe again, but I'm breathing. I am living a life full of intention and beauty, and I have chosen to find my color in my gray, and you can too. We all have our own walks. We all have our own gray, and we all have to learn how to navigate them on our own, but you don't have to be alone. You just have to make a choice to better, to climb out, to navigate, to conquer whatever grief you're going through, whatever emotion you're going through. Even if you haven't lost someone you love, life is hard and life has a lot of gray. And you can find your color too, regardless of the situation, regardless of what you're going through. And I want to be here to give you the tools to step out and to be vulnerable and to be brave and to overcome and to conquer. My intention for this blog is to help everyone in all walks of life, at any age, at any point, at anything, any type of trauma, any type of grief, any type of loss. I just want to be here, and I want to find your color. I want to help you find your color. I want to inspire you to navigate those gray areas in your life and find your color amidst all of the gray, because we're not going to get past the gray. We're not going to hide it deep enough where it never surfaces. We're not going to push it away. We're not going to forget about it, because all of those grays, all of those gray areas, all of those feelings, all those emotions, all of those traumas have made us who we are. They've made us the humans we are today, and we need to own that. We need to own our story. We need to be brave, and we need to step out, because that's when true healing happens. I was a firm believer in getting over emotion, in not being brave, not stepping out, not telling people what's going on in your heart, and that is not brave. That is broken. And I am on a mission. I'm on an adventure to heal my brokenness, and I think everyone should be too, because life is beautiful. And I have a passion for healing the whole body, for the mind, the soul, the heart. It's important because you're worth it. You are worth healing. You are worth color. You are worth a beautiful life. I have a passion for EMS, frontliners. We're called frontliners now. Thank you, COVID. Thank you. Police officers. Let's put aside let's put aside our personal traumas. Let's talk about how traumatic our job is. We see trauma every day that humans should not see. It is not natural. It is not normal. And we see it. And we walk into it brave and vulnerable, but then we don't heal ourselves. I've been there, done that. I can tell you every single human that has really, really hurt me, traumatic-wise, in my job. I remember every detail. And I'm just now starting to be brave and heal those traumas. It's important. I see you. I see all of you. And I can resonate with all of your emotions. Although our story's not the same, although we're not navigating the same journey, we have one goal, and it's live this life. And I think this life's worth living beautifully. And I think we can all do it. But it's not gonna happen if you're alone. So I hope that I can inspire you. I hope that I can give you some tools. And I hope that throughout all of the gray in life, throughout all of the hard times and the traumas, that we all can find our color, and that we can live a beautiful, meaningful, intentional, mindful life, because you deserve that.